Ladies and gents, welcome back to Club Mount Lewis. We're about to get underway with round 3 of the Champion of Club Champions singles for the men. And this time we have Mark Sajnovic from Cabravale taking on Bye-Norris of Raymond Terrace. Cabravale 6s and 7s grades, and Bye-Norris, of course, part of the high-flying Jets Platinum pennant side. So Mark might be in for a bit of a battle here. Hopefully he can do a great service to himself. Joining me this afternoon is bowls coordinator here at Mount Lewis, Josh Berry. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you, Andrew. Lovely afternoon for it here in metropolitan Sydney. How are we going? All right?
We are going very, very well, I think. Beautiful day here that you've dialed up in the weather at Mount Lewis.
Yeah, just got a little bit of rain later last week, and probably ideal. Otherwise, these could have been running 17 or 18 over the coming days. So probably a nice kind pace. If that wind gets up, it could get a little tricky, but should be some good bowls here today and over the next couple of days.
All right, so Mark on his way down.
So my maths, Andrew, tells me that obviously J-Boy had a win in his first, and Mark went down by 2. I believe if Mark's going to win the section, he's got to win by 8. I think that's 25-17 tells me that they'll be all even, then he might sneak through. So that's the number we're looking at.
Oh, there's a commenter on our YouTube stream who agrees with you. So one of you is very clever. J-Bye's been in pretty good form. Certainly been playing well, skipping in the platinum pennant from the bit I've seen. But he does have to produce the goods, so and for those looking for scores from the other games, we do have round 1 and 2 pretty much completed around all venues. You'll be able to catch those scores on Bowls Link. If you're on the app, tap the results button and have a look for Bowls New South Wales and Champ of Champs. Or if you're using a browser, go to results.bowlslink.com.au. The same thing. Click on Bowls New South Wales. He's just going to slide past. It might be good enough. He just has to find the trick of this rink, though, that there is a difference from end to end on this rink. There's clubhouse end a little bit sheltered. Might be able to just hear a little bit of wind in our microphones here. It's come up just in that last few minutes. Has fallen short, so would expect that to be one to Bye-Norris was the indication. Is there a scenario where Jake can win the section?
Negative. I believe he beat Mark by 2. Obviously lost, I think it was by 14
to J-Boy.
So I think if either one of these two will be getting through, they'll be seeing him this afternoon. obviously a lot of water to go under the bridge yet, but he's J-Boy's in the quarter with Cabravale, Jack Smith, and Gorilla's Corey Wedlock, so figure out of that quarter will be really well deserved.
Yeah, they're blokes who do know that the big ring goes on the outside.
Yard of weight. Obviously these greens there's quite a heavy dew this morning, so they'll be at their quickest about this time of day.
And this one's the quickest of the three, isn't it?
It is marginally, yeah. This one and the green two, they're probably the two quicker ones, but this bottom one still runs pretty good, just doesn't quite drain as much as the top two, so open to good bowls. Obviously as we look at the screen here, our left side is probably our tighter side with most of the wind coming from the east.
Was a little bit westerly this morning.
Yeah, we're obviously on our mountain here at Mountains, so for pennants it's quite a home ground advantage because could be worth 10 shots before the opposition figure it out, but certainly not easy when the wind picks up.
Did notice it probably not long into the morning game the wind dropped. And then when we started the second one, the wind was definitely switched around to the west. And did make a fair bit of difference, especially going away from the clubhouse on the right-hander's backhand side. So,
yeah, well, out of the four hands, as you say, away from the club, so the opposite direction of going now, the backhand for the right-hander, that is tight, and it probably can run a second or two quicker as well, just to throw another element of difficulty into it. But rig 6 as we're here is probably the kinder route on the green as we move further over to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that side probably gets a little bit tighter, but still prone to good bowls across all three greens really.
do you think that is too for J-By? And I think that's what was just confirmed by Jake. His fingers were behind my screen, unfortunately. Oh, I might have been here a couple of times, but it's a long time since I actually put a bowl down on these greens. And I don't think I actually got a game on this top green.
You see a good shot there from J-By, making it 3. As I said, during winter they can get quite difficult. Up to 18, 19 seconds, and as I said, add into that, even harder, but
Makes it challenging.
nothing that some of these bowlers here over the next couple of days might be able to give ourselves something good to watch. As we see Mark just pulling up short there with his final bowl. So looks like 3 to Jay.
Yep. Good start for Bye-Norris and Mark Sajnovic. Needing to win by 8 or so is probably giving Jay too much of a head start already. Mark's probably not been exposed to some of the bowlers consistently and relentlessly as Jay, and, well, Jack disappears. Commentary curse. And I do like he's picked the mat up and walked a couple of metres forward, so we noted that last couple of games that players that lose the jack, the opposition wouldn't pick it up. Just kept the mat in place.
Yeah, this is the short of our 3 greens, so from minimum to maximum isn't as drastic as some of the bigger greens around the areas, but still obviously tactics involved when you've got a change of length.
Found the source of our little echo. Got a new commentary screen and the volume was up on it. J-Boy just a little through with his opening effort. And Mark Sajnovic, it's a great effort there. J-Boy's not that far through, probably just over a metre. And corrected back nicely for a good second. I don't think he's turned that one through enough. Still be one to Mark. Forehand draw for him. Really want to just tuck that jack around the corner again. I think here Jay will reach to that just over the draw. He want this to let go though. Wind just gusted. Did hold it out. With that sort of weight, he's looking for the jack or the bowl. Grab a hold of the jack back to his own. So Mark here, he's got a dilemma. Does he draw for another counter or does he try and cover the back? I don't think there is a right answer for that one. Well, if he... I think he might just play that same backhand shot just to arrive down, just with good weight, so that if he does turn anything, it's in his favour. Gets down to the jack and trails that he could make three. He's got brilliant bowl. That is shot to Bye-Norris. Maybe two. No, it is two. Well, he's given it a decent chance, but he's just a little high with the line. Or speedy, one of the two. That'll be two. Gave it a chance, that's the important thing.
Of course, Mark from Cabravale, one of their other host clubs over the next few days. Not a small club in the area. They had the pleasure of working there for a few years back, and one of those years it was like 26 mil profit they might have made. Got over 700 pokies, just built a Novotel, so it's a state-of-the-art facility, that's for sure.
And probably the most passionate greenkeeper I've ever met in my life.
Yes, he loves a chat. Good bloke.
Don't give him an energy drink, I reckon, though, because he doesn't need it. He's a jack in the box. He's just full of energy. I mean that in a good way, too.
If you didn't know him, you'd think he looks scary and intimidating, but he's actually quite a gentle giant under the soul.
If you cast him in a movie, he'd be the menacing bikie.
Yes.
But far further from the truth, could not be. J-Bye's opening, probably 2 feet in the old scale, 60 centimetres or so short. Mark, this is a pretty good bowl. He got shot with that. Just going to finish jack high. So it's a great effort, but against someone like Jay Bye, that's probably more of an invitation to get shot than a...
Well played here from Jay Bye. Made that 2-foot improvement. Just missing out on a toucher.
Just kept rolling through as well. We've noticed that on this screen, that last bit, they just keep rolling.
Sort of tricky as well, like coming back this direction, it's sort of in the corner of like an L-shaped part of the clubhouse, and you can often feel the wind up there at the mat where they are now, but down here it might not be as windy, so you will get that turn. So it'll be interesting to see if they pick up on that early and make those adjustments, as we see another good bowling from Mark.
Made a couple. Well, the legend who now plays here, coaching the junior squads, once said something a little bit profound. Believe what your bowl does. Correct on what your bowl does. Watch it. Believe it. Of course, that was glass.
Sounds easy. He'll be joining you in commentary tomorrow too.
Nice to have a young fella come in. He's done everything, sometimes twice.
Yeah, one of the nicest blokes you'll meet in the lawn bowl circuit, I dare say. He's doing a lot of fun, someone nicer than Glasso. See Mark just pulling up short there. Not sure where he's seen short he is.
I think it's Mark, but it's hard to tell. I think it was Jay Bye was what he mouthed to us.
Jay Bye will be sticking to this forehand. Looking to get a toucher himself probably and try and shut the head down.
Also know that he sits that side, either side bowl, just like that.
Played it pretty well.
He'll drop in, get a toucher.
Good shot. He has sort of given Mark an opportunity to land something though by sitting out to the side. So I think this is a license for Mark to not be short here. Although Jay Bye's got a couple there, he can overplay this and still get a result.
Well, you get the outside of that last shot bowl and get a little movement on the jack from it. It might just even squirt straight out the side.
Down the tight line.
Yeah.
The weight was beautiful.
Do you think it's a couple and that Jay Bye will be 8? I did hear it 2 then.
Of course, most of our players, I think all of our players actually here today, all of our section winners will progress through tomorrow's first round of the knockouts, so they'll be going to other venues just to make it an even draw, I guess, on not running into someone who's played at a venue you haven't played at. So
Yeah, we tried to make sure most people change venues. From day 1 to day 2.
Jay switching it out here, close to T by the looks of it, sticking to the tight side, and a pretty good opener.
Well, the T to T seems to be a common Raymond Terrace tactic.
And Lee Schreiner is his go-to. I find it's obviously a harder length to nail, but those good players, like their bad bowls, can sometimes get shots over some less quality players, so that's probably why they try to stretch it out.
It's also not about where you play the perfect bowls, because it's only about whether you win that end. So if you're getting shot, or 2 shots or 3 shots with bowls 2-3 feet away and beating your opponent, it's a good reason to keep rolling that length. Oh, I know I've come off with a good win, and someone said, gee, you guys must have played well to beat them by that many. And I said, no, we didn't. We just didn't play as badly as they did. I've also come off saying I couldn't play any better and got belted, so... J-Boy, I think he might be down there with that last bowl, the light blue closer to the centre line. Just a little light on with that weight. Definitely. And it's also one of those games where you don't run out of ends, so you can just get yourself in a little bit of a siege mentality and say, I'm just going to get a 1. And just try and drag yourself out of a hole by scoring 2 or 3 or 4 ends in a row. He's right. Yep. Oh, I think it's still 2. Just rolled a little bit forward then. Mark Sajnovic, plenty of room here, but scoreboard pressure, 2 down. Needs to get round the front one, and he has. Yeah, I think that one's good enough.
Indeed, so I think we're going to see a tactical change here from Mark, and elect to navigate away from that to the T length end. He's put the mat up near the Mount Lewis logo on the green there, halfway up. So definitely be a shorter end. Of course, just reminding viewers that Mark's got to beat Jay by 25-17 in order to progress through this section. So not an easy task, but he's got more chance of doing it than I do.
Mainly because he's out on the green.
Might be down 8-1 on the scoreboard here, but been in most of the ends so far. Obviously, I this one by a yard and a half.
Singles can be a very lonely game when you're out there by yourself because you haven't got a teammate to bounce ideas off. That's
One of our locals, Paddy Smith, walking in front of the camera here. Surprised to see him here.
doesn't like beer, I've heard. I know, Josh, you've won singles events, you've also won teams events. Which ones are more special?
I personally quite enjoy singles, but if I was going to pick a discipline that I could play every day of the week, it'd be something like Pennants or State Falls or something like that. Pennants I like it because you can play out a whole season with your mates and feed off them, and when you get the reward at the end of it, it's very sweet. Been lucky enough to be in a couple of good sides where we've been fortunate enough to win some titles, and plenty of beers after those
Been loving the open pen. It's definitely the peak for me. Been lucky enough to win a couple of club events. And the team ones have always meant just that bit more because it's been done with a pairs partner or a fours team. I won't say a triples team because I've never been lucky enough to win one of those.
Seeing J-Boy stick to this forehand here. One down by the looks. Good way, just push it out a fraction wide, which can be done on this rink. Sitting in this direction, so I believe that was Jacob just confirming that Mark had shot.
Got 2 bowls to go. Mark needs another one in there though, because I can see J-Boy having a little backhand runner. That blue ball sitting out to the right of screen. And it's still on.
So I dare say we'll see
Little aggression.
J-Boy switch hands here and might be losing his bowl here, I'd say.
Well, he's actually swung it across on the forehand. I'd say he's played that one because he knows it's pushing it out of the head then when he gets to the inside of it. But great bowl. He'll make 3.
Of course, J-Boy, not a stranger to success in singles events. He won the Australian singles, I believe, 2 years up in the Gold Coast.
You got me there. Don't really know.
I've got a feeling he might have played Cody Packer in a final. And Cody was trying to defend it. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong there, but see J-Boy stretch it back out again. Those tries, T to T. J-Boy once again open the bowl in that sort of 3 to 4 foot range.
There's just enough breeze around to make this a little tricky. And probably not consistent either, the breeze, a little bit gusty. So you'll get more effect on some bowls than others. Mark, well, he's just going to go right back to the back corner. Hear the call of umpire from one of the rinks. I'll give my little education lesson again. If you're going to call the umpire on a rink, call out umpire and say what rink you're on. So umpire, rink 10, jack measure, or bowl and jack about a foot apart, or jack in the ditch, bowl on the green.
Sometimes you might have to say umpire 6 or 7 times because they might have their head in the form guide. Our umpires do a good job here. They'll be onto that nice and quickly, no doubt. We'll see Mark.
Yeah, good effort.
Good correction on his first.
It just helps the umpire if you do call out and just say what rink you're on and short measure. If you know what sort of equipment they should use, just go, yep, think it'll be feeler gauges, or think it'll be orbital, think it'll be calipers.
J-Boy looking to he's improved his line. Is he going to run it out?
Yeah, he's got, just going to drop in, I think, there. Even if you just say measure and put your fingers apart, 20 centimetres, that's about that. Yeah, they know what range of equipment to grab and bring with them. They might cover their bases, but just help.
Not much of a correction required here, but got the run. Doesn't look
He hasn't played it with much confidence there, I don't think. You need to play it without fear. That's the thing. So make sure you got the weight, and if you crash through into the head, that's good.
Might see J-Boy play weight again here. I mean, if he gets the roll out, he scores. If he gets it into the jack, no marks. Got the ball waiting back behind the ring on our right as we look at it.
If he gets it to go, yeah, that one is. I can't get it into shot. He falls over. He'll be close, but I think he's just out. Well, Mark.
Knows what's required. Just got to beat his own, and he'll definitely score.
Wants it to hold on, though. He hasn't quite sent this one. Might have been a little bit of trepidation that he didn't want to push that jack back at all. May need the tape on this. May not.
Rig 6. Might just stand around for a little bit and have a look at it.
No, it was I think that was the realisation that, I want it to be mine, but it's not.
Must have been the last one, was it? The one that just flopped in at the end?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, J-Boy extends his lead, extends the jack again, probably not quite as far as he would like, not quite to the tee, but well on his way to ticking off the first part of his ambition of a state title and winning the section. Of course, tomorrow I think we've got the women start at the round of 32 in the knockout, and the men at the round of 64.
Yep. So our broadcast tomorrow will be women's round of 32, men's round of 32, women's quarterfinal, then men's quarterfinal on Thursday morning, then women's final, men's final. Yes. Nat. I think it was actually Natalie. Yeah, it was. Jack McShane, Natalie Lewis, and of course Jack went on to win the. Jack also went on to win the World Indoor. Or was that the Champion of Champions played indoor?
Can't remember which one it was.
He won a world title. Well, J-Boy on a good track, just needs his speed, and it's definitely running on more than it was this morning. Excellent ball, holding a couple. Toucher.
Mark's got a good shot on here, but keep his weight if he likes and land the ball, trail the jack himself.
He gets it back to his own. He could be as much as 3. I don't think he's quite got the running on this one.
Track would have worked. Just have to push it that extra probably yard or 2. Yard to the jack, 2 yards to his bowls.
And even if he got the inside edge of Jay Bye's bowl there. That jack coming straight down the centre line. It could only get better for him. Jay Bye swapped hands, dropped short.
So Mark sticking to the forehand here, looking to thread that gap there, possibly with a little bit more weight. However, he just pushed to the fraction high there, and weight was good enough for a result. This is where I think he's got to maybe try and change his tactics, whether he's going forehand around the clock at the moment, whether he tries to stick to one side of the green or just try and change the dynamics of the head a little bit to turn it into his favour. But you see Jay score again.
I think we're almost in the zone already where Jay Bye's got the section sewn up. He's not far off it anyway. Another 4 shots. Jay Bye's been sticking to that side of the green. He's starting to get the hang of it. Still, he's playing a few tricks on him, but another decent bowl from Bye-Norris. Holding a couple now.
Looking to navigate his own bowl here on the forehand.
Yes, they will still play it out. Can concede, but I'm just going to mute you. Some people saying can't hear you. I'm going to change your port. All right, I've just swapped Josh's microphone port. Should be coming in nice and loud now.
Probably don't want to hear me.
Yep.
Got me?
Yeah. So it was all turned on full volume, but you're coming in clearer off that one as well. So.
Well, you haven't missed much.
Jay Bye be holding 4 here now. And Mark, he's kept himself in this game. I doubt that he's played many games against people who are as consistently pressuring you as Bye-Norris. Not too far away with this. If he can sit on the back one, he'll cut it down. But he's just got the outside and folded out, so it'll still be forward at Bye. That's
essentially the section, but as you said, we may still play it out.
They are required to finish all games. It'd be classed as a forfeit if they finish now, which we don't want to see.
So the winner of this section will head over to Cabramale. So as we know now, it'll be J-By, but Cabramale tomorrow morning from 9:45. I believe they're playing the winner of section 47. And then should J-By get through that one, he's got a potential clash with Cabramale's Jack Smith at Cabramale. So that could be a quality round of 32 match coming up tomorrow.
Jack's one who's really burst onto the scene over the last couple of years too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was from I believe it was Picnic Point. Played a little bit at Picnic Point, and then Cabramale saw something in him and got him over there, and under the guidance of, I guess, Carl and Disco and that, he's really thrived. He's come on and what a dual state champion now as well.
Well, managed to thrive under those two. Special person that. I mean, what have they done? Played for Australia, won Commonwealth medals.
Not bad mentors.
Carl is probably the most analytical bowler I've met in my life. He's and I mean that in a good way. He really studies the game, and he watches what he does, and he watches how the game's moving.
Very tactical. He would be there trying to beat you 25-0 as well, I think. There's two people like that in my book. It's Carl Healy and Matthew Peterson, both mongrels on the green. So J-By has just given Mark a little bit of an opportunity, and Mark unfortunately hasn't seized that. So still 2 to 3 foot of room here.
I was really pleased to see the guys from South Lismore here. Gary and his mate who's come down with him to look after him and help him out. And South Lismore, good to see them doing okay. Club's been wiped out in a couple of floods over the last 10 years or so, and the 2022 one was way over their roof. Beautiful little club as well, and great to see them down here competing. Had the pleasure of playing a game there too, so beautiful place.
Yeah, I've never been there, but they've had a little bit of success too. I remember running into them in the Grade 1 pennants. Might have been down your way, down Dapdo or something.
Yeah, it was.
I think they had like Jamie Acorn and that in the side then.
Yep.
Might have lost to like a Marylands in a semi or something. So like for a small club, they punch above their weight.
Terrace Point in the final, I think it might have been.
Oh, there you go.
I think beat Marylands in the semi.
Yes, actually, yes, it does ring a bell. I think it was Michael Clark's birthday that day too.
Happy birthday, Adonis. And one more to J-By.
So a few games starting to finish now. So a few sectional winners will start scrolling through on the Bowls Link app. So tune into there and all the Bowls New South Wales feeds, and I'm sure you'll be able to stay up to date with player movement, who gets through, where they're playing tomorrow, the times, and I'm sure Bowls New South Wales will put up a post with a live stream schedule for tomorrow.
Comms pretty much has that in hand. I do know it's all mapped out. The rink draws are all done in advance. In fact, the rink draws are already done. And it was just whoever drew this rink got the live stream today. Pretty much the same for the whole way through. When you get the finals, you're not going to be able to predict who's there.
If you keep winning, you'll be on there, I guess.
It was a few years ago, someone had a crack and said, how come Morilla's got so many games on the live stream in the junior state championships? And that was our answer. Well, they keep winning, so they're in the finals, and they've got a 50-50 chance of being in semi-finals.
Yeah, also a club renowned for success. As we see J-Boy here looking to navigate the short one. Once again, a good opener. He's really put Mark under the pressure in his opening couple of bowls over the last sort of 5 or 6 ends.
He's just been consistent. Last end was a little aberration, but
Which you're going to have in a game of singles. As I said, they're long games and long days. It's quite easy to have a mental lapse just for one bowl, 1 or 2 bowls here or there.
We all enter a game expecting that we're capable of drawing, what's that, pennant game of 42 resting touches. In reality, we might get 1 in a game. We'll go out there aiming to do it. Got to be realistic. Sometimes conditions are that a bowl within 2 feet is actually a good bowl.
Mark weighing up his options here. Looks like he might be swapping over to the backhand, so we might possibly see a little bit of weight here. And it is, so it's a backhand swing up. He's very close. It's a good shot.
It's gone out of bounds.
They're going to walk up the other end, yep.
The other end.
Just got a message from Nick Cahill saying it's 10 past 4 and they've still got pretty much all the round 3 ladies games yet to start at Cabravale. So greens must be pretty quick over there, I'd imagine. Ben Morthorpe, Jane Gebby and the team.
Oh, well, they should have got out and watered them. I've got a personal opinion that the green running to start the day, 13.5, 14 is more than perfect. Because you get a day like today, they're going to build up to 15, 16 by the end of the day without any problem. You get a baking hot day, they're going to get up to 17, 18. And once they get above that 16 second, it gets that difficult to play shots.
Yeah, I think you also find that the dew plays a big factor as well. If you get a heavy dew of a morning, you'll find they'll bring it down a couple of seconds and it'll speed up even more throughout the day. But
had some clubs who are down to host a state championship or state event for the first time, often pennants, and they'll say, we've teed the greenkeeper up, he's going to cut the green at 10 cents the week before the pennants, and he's going to double roll it for the week before. And the first question I ask is, how good are your lights? Oh, no, we haven't got lights. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Have you ever played on a 19-second green? Was it fun? Usually the answer is, well, not really, because I couldn't get anything close. You've got to get through 2 games, and we want it to be competitive without being ridiculous.
yeah, I think you'll find that the quicker the green, the better players will probably win more often than not. Obviously, there's always someone might play better than they anticipated, but like good bowls on a 19-second green in the wind might be 4 foot away, and then you've suddenly got to start driving the bowls 4 foot away. So your quality players will hone in on that and put their opposition under the pump, and we're sort of seeing that a little bit here today. Although not lightning quick greens, we're just seeing J-By open up with his first couple of bowls and really put Mark under the pump. So we see J-By, another close one, a foot short there, so no target either for Mark. He's just got to make the adjustment with his weight. Just needs to try and get back to this jack.
Oh, he's got a touch and run through, and I think he's still 2 down.
Jacob just going to confirm this. Indeed, yes, it is 2 still to Jacob. So very, very unlucky there from Mark. He played a very good bowl, good weight, gave it an opportunity to...
Well, he's got a touch on the jack and moved it all of 3 or 4 centimetres. He gets a bigger piece that runs on with him, so J-Bye just plops another one in there, sits on his own, makes it 3. I think he's keen to get in and have a lemonade and a refresh for tomorrow.
Thought we might have seen Mark unleashed with a little bit of anger there. I certainly probably would have. So he might prove me wrong here if he can get to this jack.
He's not far away, and guess what? He's got the same hole and going to run just past his other one. He'll still drop a 3. That's 2 great efforts. It's almost an injustice that he's trying to drop a 3 there.
It's very unlucky. You'll often find as well that the luck tends to favour the player playing better, I find, although it's rough when you're on the wrong end of it. But as we're seeing here today, J-Bye's probably been the more consistent, and luck's certainly on his side from that last end.
Well, you tend to get more luck when you're in about the right area more often. Except when people are playing me with it. It's just outrageous.
So T to T, J-Bye with 3 to go out.
The Albatross always says if it wasn't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all. Maybe under Josh's series just because we're not playing well enough.
Touched on South Lismore earlier. There was a young fella in that section. Do you know how old is he? I think he's from Tamworth City.
No, I don't
Not sure.
know.
No. It's good to see though a range of ages here. Obviously, everyone here's won their club singles, so it's already a great achievement in winning their own club event. But then to have an opportunity at winning a state title, and when you're a young whippersnapper, I think he might be in his maybe teens. Yeah, somewhere in his teens.
Definitely
But
looks a teen. I think we're going to be seeing him in action at State Junior Championships in just over a week's time. Is that a good hint to go to my lower thirds? J-Bye holding 1, or no, probably 2. One of those is a fair distance away. Mark, he's grabbed the jack with this one, trailed it back towards the ditch. J-Bye, this isn't too bad of an answer, is it? He's done enough to get shot.
Jaden Elliott, there it is. Give him a little plug. I saw him playing on Rink 8 there earlier. He looked to go pretty well. Might have a bright future in the sport.
He definitely is playing in the State Junior Championships, so Mark's had a little run there, missed. J-Bye be keen to add another one in here. Won't mind turning his own up or just getting past down to the jack. Wants this to now just drift a bit further. Be 2 and not together.
Had it very well. It's an underestimated shot. Probably not practiced enough by some skips out there, but drawing to a ditch with only a couple of feet of room. Not an easy shot.
You've only got half your margin of error. You've only
Can't
got the short
overplay it,
bit.
can you?
Yes. Normally, if you've got a foot to draw, you've actually got 2 feet. You've got the foot short and the foot long. Whereas on the ditch, you've only got the foot short. It'll be 2 to J-Bye. All but.
Should get him on the hill. Love to see a little bit of action and go mat up, jack and ditch, but doesn't look like we're going to see that. Stick to what's worked, which is T to T. So Jay here with just the one required to go out and book his place. Well, his play's already booked in the round of 64 tomorrow, as I said, at Cabravale.
Weight on that was absolutely spot on. Just turned a little more than he had planned on.
Marky with a fair opener also a good weight. Just hasn't quite done that enough today, has he? Just first bowl's just been missing a little bit, and
well, he's run into a player that most players will struggle to beat.
Dare say, looking at the draw, he's certainly within the top 4 favourites to take out the event, in my opinion. But what do I know? Another good weighted bowl there from J-Bite.
Somebody asked, how did South Lismore go? Well, I'm not really sure at the moment, but that result should be in bowls linked for too long.
Yeah. I'm not very good at multitasking, so I haven't entered that result yet. So as soon as I'm off the stream...
We aren't doing live scores for this sectional play. We will start those tomorrow.
J-By looking to make the correction. Played it pretty well. Will it stop?
Yeah, maybe. No, I think it's too far through. Hard to tell either view I've got, whether it's live or camera, but I think it has just gone a little too far. So will we see Jay try to draw it or have a crack at that light blue bowl? All comes down to this one, I think.
Well, if he's holding, we probably won't see it, but he'll definitely be down now by the looks. Oh, still rolling on, isn't it? And flopped.
Oh, he's asked the question.
Might still be holding here, J-Bite. And is, so a little bit unfortunate there for Mark.
Jay, going to stick with that forehand side. A lot of players would have been tempted to switch over to the backhand, thinking that bowl's on the drag.
I mean, he's played this side of the green so well, so why change now, I guess? And he's
backing himself to draw it more.
And he's done it.
You've just drawn a side resting toucher.
If you're only as good as your last bowl, J-By is pretty bloody good.
Well, Mark's got to play an absolute bomb here to get out of this. He's almost got to attack. Pick your hand, try and put the jack in the ditch. Doesn't matter if you get your own, because 1 or 4 or 3, it doesn't matter.
Nothing to lose. We see some weight, looks high.
And just gone a bit high. So J-Bite will cruise to victory here. It's been an entertaining match really though, and Mark Sajnovic, he's played pretty well, and I think he's done himself proud, even though the scoreline suggests he's been on the wrong end of it. He has done pretty well. He's just been up against an absolute quality opposition.
I did know Mark from a days at Cabravale, and I think he played lead in the 2nd or 3rd grade there. So, as we all know, singles is often a good game for leads. So it's good to see Mark have his opportunity here today, but unfortunately, just for his sake, outclassed by a better player. And all the best to J-By as he moves on into the knockout stages of the 25-26 Champion Singles.
All right, thanks for joining us this afternoon, Josh. We've got a few more tasks to do, but don't forget to join us from 9:45 a.m. tomorrow when we start with the women's round of 32. Until then, it's goodbye.